Welcome back to Impossibly Unremarkable, a podcast hosted by myself, Jonathon Butts, and my longtime friend, co-host, and little cherub, Elliott Markson.
Yes, another episode of this podcast, and we are just two men on a podcast grabbing you by the lapels, shaking you, going, wake up, people! Isn't that right?
Haven't you done that before?
That one? That exact one? There's no way.
Sounds really familiar. Maybe it was a dream I had recently.
If I did, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm just razzing you. I don't think you've done that.
I don't think so. That one seemed fresh.
But I feel like you have yelled during the intro before.
Me? Yelling on this podcast? No way. No way. I keep it clean. I keep it quiet. I keep it reserved. I am chill today. Did a meditation before this. I'm feeling ready to go.
What did that consist of?
Sitting quietly, breathing.
Wow.
Yeah, does wonders for the body, for the mind, for the soul.
If you see us and our eyes veer off into the direction yonder, there are some people. We got our producer here. We got our longtime friend, Straggler, Neil.
Yeah, he just wandered in here. I don't know who let him in. I left the door unlocked. It was my fault.
Well, how was your week?
It was good. I've done quite a bit. I caught up on some much-needed television on Netflix. Caught up on Love is Blind Season 3.
Is that like a reality show?
It is. It is a reality show.
Gross. I didn't think you'd stoop that low.
No, dude. If you know me, you know I love me some trash television. Some like awful reality TV. I'm talking Love is Blind. I'm talking The Circle. I'm talking Too Hot to Handle.
What is the premise of Love is Blind? Are they just blind people?
Yeah, it's actually a bunch of blind people looking for love. And it's really tough because they put them in a maze and they just have to find their significant other.
What's the actual premise?
No, the actual premise is basically they get a bunch of people. I think it's like 30 people, 15 guys, 15 girls, all looking for love. And they put them in what are called these pods. So they spend 10 days in this compound. I'm just kidding. It's not a compound. It's just a building, whatever. I don't know, a nice place to live. And they all like kind of hang out there. And then they go in what are called these pods, where they go in on these speed dates, where they go and talk to everybody. The thing about the pods is there's like a wall in between, so you can't see who you're talking to. So they are basically put into this. It's essentially a social experiment, right? So they just put them in these little pods. They talk to each other, and they're meant to develop personal connections or emotional connections to these people. And then some of them fall in love, some of them don't. And then the ones that do fall in love, they then get engaged. So the man has to propose in the pods before they see each other. Yep.
What the fuck?
Then, after the proposal, if they've accepted, then this new couple meets for the first time. They see each other. Then after that, they go on a fun little getaway in like Mexico or like Jamaica or some cool spot, Hawaii, I don't know, Malibu, something like that. And they go on like essentially just a vacation with all the other couples. So then they all see each other and then drama ensues. Because some of them are like, whoa, that person I was talking to is way hotter than the person I proposed to.
It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's a little messed up, but you know, it's.
Wait, there are people that don't move on?
Yeah, so like sometimes it'll basically just follow like 5 couples usually or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Because like sometimes you see somebody at like the beginning is just not there at the end or like not there for the next segment of the show, but it's just because they didn't find love. Even blind people wouldn't love them. Just kidding. Wow. So it's an interesting show, and now I'm at the point. I'm not done with it yet, so no spoilers. Nobody spoil the show for me. But I'm at the point where some of them are, like, they get to the wedding, and then they have to decide if they're going to say I do or not. Yeah.
That's when they make the decision? They don't say, like, hey, let's not do a wedding. I just don't want to do this?
Well, so after the vacation part, they go and live together for, like, 3 weeks. See what that's like. Some of them break up or whatever or have issues during that time. And then they come to the altar where they're supposed to, go through with it or not.
Does the television show pay for all the lodging and weddings and destination vacations?
I believe so, yes. I don't think they pay anything out of pocket.
Are we trying to, you and me? And
you want to go on the show?
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't seen a...
How come it's always men and women together?
That's what I was just about to say. There aren't any gay couples on
Love
there.
is Blind, more like Love is but homophobic, I guess would be the term for it.
I'm surprised because I haven't even seen anybody on the internet complaining about that, which is wild because you see everybody on the internet complaining about everything. So
I'll be the first.
I mean, sure. I'm sure it's out there, but
I'm sure someone's...
I'm surprised they haven't done it yet. 3 seasons. But I guess that would be difficult though, because then you'd either have to make them all like
Make them all what?
they're either, you know what I mean? Like, because then if there's just like one, you can't have one gay couple, because then you would just be like, well, these two are going to go together, obviously. Like, it wouldn't make any sense.
So maybe you just have 30 bisexual people.
Yeah, you could. You should produce this show.
Yeah, I definitely have the capital to make
Yep.
that happen.
Yep, but it's a fun show. It's a good one. It's one of my favorites to watch on Netflix, and I'm getting caught up, and it's pretty great.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was your week, just watching shit reality TV?
I also spent a lot of time in front of the TV this week. I also watched that, what's it called? The Banshees of
Inisherin?
Inisherin. Yep.
I also watched that.
Yeah.
Man, it just made me really, really sad.
It was a sad movie. It was, well, not really even that sad. It was just weird. It was like, so the premise is that this Irish guy who lives on this island off the coast of Ireland, right?
Yeah.
So they're on this remote island. They're just kind of like chilling. And then one day he like goes to talk to his friend, and his friend does not want to be his friend anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the whole premise of the movie. Like, and then they go from there. It's basically, I'm assuming what I got out of it was just men not talking about their feelings or not being open about
I'm pretty sure it's
how they
supposed to
actually
be,
feel or
it's
something.
supposed to be an allegory for the Irish Civil War.
It is.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. More you learn.
Because I was like...
Could have looked it up.
So I kind of see the themes of it, obviously.
Sure.
But I wanted to know, what it truly was about. But yeah, it's 100% about the Irish Civil War.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
A topic I know nothing about, so I wouldn't have caught on.
Yeah. Me either. I'd learned that first day that there was an Irish Civil War. So.
Yeah. I mean, it was visually cool because, like, Ireland's beautiful. So, like, the setting is immaculate, looks sick. Other than that, I mean, the story is just kind of... It didn't, like, keep my attention the whole time, I don't know. But their accents are sick. That was the other awesome part about this movie.
I really like it. I found myself identifying with both of their struggles.
Yeah.
Because, and this is just like a weird... faux anxiety that came out of nowhere. But like sometimes I feel like my friends are just gonna up and like leave.
Yeah.
Like you'll finally realize that we're not on the same level.
Yeah.
And then you'll just walk out.
Yeah. I've felt that too, that we're not on the same level. So
But I also feel
I'm glad
like
you brought that up because
But I also feel like Brendan Gleeson's character in that
the guy who cuts his fingers off.
Yeah. Where I feel like I'm not doing enough with, the time that I have.
Yeah.
And then I want to, do more and make a lasting impact.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, and then I also identify with that donkey because I'm cute and lovable.
Oh, that poor donkey. R.I.P.
Yeah.
That's a spoiler, but whatever. If you were interested in seeing the Banshees of Insidious...
Banshees
then,
of Inisherin.
Then I'm sorry I spoiled it for you.
Honestly, so when people will be like, so if you could live in any other time period...
Yeah.
I never really had an answer, but I 100% would pick Ireland.
In what time period?
That exact time period. Whatever time period allows me to do like menial work around my house.
During the Irish Civil War?
Maybe a little farming. And then at like 2 o'clock every day, go to a pub.
You want
to
go
friends.
to Ireland during the potato famine?
I don't think it was during the potato famine.
I don't know.
But yeah,
could have been.
Carefree, drinking a lot.
So you just want to live on an island and drink all day.
I mean, point to me a better life. Please.
It's true. That's true. That sounds nice.
Where would you rather be?
Where would I rather be in history? Right now, right here, on this podcast set, talking to these beautiful people, talking to you.
It's not an answer.
1970s.
Why?
Because it's just sick.
AIDS was happening. Right.
Actually, that was the 80s, I believe, when that blew up.
Shit.
But I mean, the 70s definitely was there.
Can you fact check when AIDS first started to happen? I think you're right because that was Reagan was in.
I'm sure it started earlier than that, but I think that's when it popped off.
Is one of you on it? When it popped off?
Yeah, when AIDS really popped off.
What a horrible way to describe it.
It began in 1981.
Fuck, 81, baby. Woo! So
right.
the 1970s.
What? Yeah, I know Reagan. I said
Reagan.
I said
Reagan. Classic Reagan. Speaking of Nancy Reagan, I'm just kidding.
I don't know what that
I was
was.
just kidding. Yeah, probably the 1970s, just because like it's just a simpler time, dude.
Is
Just
it?
like
Is it a simpler
that's when
time?
like music was pretty good too. You got like Pink Floyd. I'd be like one of those guys probably.
When was Woodstock 60s?
That's 69.
Of course you know that.
I know my stuff. Yeah, that would have been a sweet time. You know, you're free. You're kind of a latchkey kid, just kind of, you know, going out, doing whatever you want. Your parents don't know anything you're doing. They can't track you with like a smartphone.
Well-
And like, you kind of like just free, baby. You're just free living in the 70s.
Did your parents
Listening
track,
to Pink Floyd,
track
buying records.
Your parents didn't have a smartphone to track
No,
you.
they didn't track me, but I'm just saying, like, we're so bogged down by technology these days, bro. I'm just kidding. It's actually awesome because, you know, you have information at the fingers on your fingertips at all times. All the time. I know everything. That's why I know what year Woodstock was.
But the most exciting thing that happened to me this week was I got my passport.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
so
You're
fucking happy.
officially going.
The cool thing is, so you guys are going to be listening to this on a Thursday, obviously, because that's
Yep.
when we drop every episode. But I will be gone, like,
Yeah.
not on this plane of existence anymore.
By the time they hear this, you'll be off in Deutschland.
Yeah. So this is pre-Deutschland, but I got my passport. It wasn't that expensive. Mm-hmm. You know, I ate like $20 in parking fees just for parking for like 15 minutes
Not
on
bad.
2 separate days, but great. So if you're like me and you don't want to be prepared for things at any time,
Yep.
go to the passport agency. You can get in there 2 weeks before your flight and then you're square.
Easy.
But if you don't get an appointment, you're absolutely fucked.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe plan ahead. Don't be like this guy. But it all worked out, which is nice.
It did. And so when I first started looking for passports, there are companies, including FedEx, which kind of bugs me because I feel like they're a pretty, you know, upstanding organization for the most part. So I don't know why they would choose to indulge in scummy practices.
Come on, FedEx.
But so there are companies that claim to be able to expedite your passport. And they claim to be able to say, like, you can do 1 day or 2 day or 3 day. And like the 1 day is like $800 or $900. So it's a huge fee.
Sheesh.
But all they do is expedite the shipping of your materials.
Yeah.
Once your materials are at the State Department, they have zero control on how quickly your application's processed.
Oh,
So you can pay $800 and boom, your application's there right away. But it will probably still take you 6 to 7 weeks or longer.
that's crazy.
So don't do that.
Don't do that.
I almost did it. I was very close to doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I just, you know, saw other people's feedback and they said don't do it. So
Wow.
that's my little informational tidbit.
Well, I'm glad that you got the passport. Are you excited to go to Germany? What What are the
super
biggest
excited.
things that you're looking forward to in Germany?
Not being in America for the first time.
Okay.
Just
Nice.
being able to see more. I did upgrade my seat. I didn't go like first class or whatever, but I picked the window seat because I'd like to be able to,
Yeah.
you know, see the ocean.
Pick the window seat?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm an aisle seat guy.
I also like the aisle seat. Oddly enough, the aisle seat's more expensive than the
Really?
window seat, but I wanted to be able to, like, you know, see the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, and then when you're like coming in for landing,
Yeah, I can-
you can see, you know,
Yeah.
the stuff, the city from
Yeah.
above,
But we have
a bird's eye.
we have a hotel booked in Munich, and we're also going to go to the Czech. We're going to Prague.
Nice.
We got this 5-course medieval themed dinner
Woo!
with unlimited drinks that I'm super fucking excited
Unlimited
about.
drinks?
Yeah.
That's going to be a sloppy evening.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
It'll be great.
How many courses?
5.
5 courses.
So if and this is purely off of memory, so I could be wrong, but
Okay.
I might also be spot on. So I believe it starts with a small appetizer course of roasted duck and turkey. Mm-hmm. Then it moves on to a traditional Czech potato soup.
Ooh,
Then your
yum.
next course is garlic and spinach filled Czech pancakes.
Wow.
Then
Pancakes.
for the main course, it's a 12-hour roasted pork. And
It's
it
12
finishes-
hours long?
Yeah. It's a 12-hour eating period. And then it finishes with like Czech cake or whatever.
Ooh, that's going to be wild. It's going to be awesome.
I know.
Wow.
I'm not a beer guy, but I'm assuming the unlimited drinks has to be beer.
I would guess
So
it's beer.
I'm gonna be like 40%
beer
beer,
drinkers over
by
there.
volume by the time I return.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah,
Woo. Can't wait to see pictures. You got to take a lot of pictures, man. We want to see it.
yeah.
Want to see
I will.
you in the big G. Germany.
The G spot.
The G spot.
Yeah. And then I'll come back, and then, do you ever get like traveler's depression?
Like on the way back?
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like that happens to everybody on a vacation. Like you're so excited to leave and being there is just awesome. And then around like that night before you have to fly back home, you start to get that anxiety of, man, back to reality, back to the real thing. This was all a dream. Life is work. Am I going to make it through another week? I don't know.
Just for some context, Elliott and I decided to switch roles.
Yeah.
I'm the happy one today.
Yeah.
He's the sad one today.
Yeah, the glass is half empty for me.
Who said I
now.
sounded depressed the whole time?
I've heard that from a lot of people that you sound depressed on this podcast.
That's crazy.
We've been getting
I'm
a lot
so
of feedback.
I'm so happy. Dispel the myth. I'm not even on any medications of any sort.
We can see behind your facade. We can see who you really are.
What am I?
Jonathan.
Oh.
Nice.
That was basically my week.
Yeah. It's a good week.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. That was pretty much it for me. Just watching TV, chilling out. You know, watching movies, watching TV.
Oh, we saw Looper yesterday. We watched Looper.
What is
for the first
that?
time. You ever heard of Looper?
No?
You seen Looper?
What's Looper?
It's a film from like 2012, 2013 by Rian Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the premise is there's these loopers. So time travel has been invented, but
Yeah.
the era it's set, time travel was invented 30 years in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like mobs in the future that will hire people from the present to perform hits. So basically, this mafia will like send targets back.
Okay.
They had some convoluted answer for why it's better to kill people in the past than the present. Yeah, can't really get rid of bodies.
Okay,
like that.
sure.
So they send them back, and then there are loopers that are tasked with shooting the guy or killing the person.
Oh.
And so
So it's like a time-traveling assassin.
yeah, time traveling assassin. Except for the
Sweet.
people that are in the present, like they don't really travel. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
But the whole, like the main, I guess, plot would be at a certain point, your target becomes yourself in the future because the loopers get paid a shit ton of money.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, I think you lost me.
No. So these hitmen, they get paid a ton of money.
Yeah.
But then at a certain point, they have to close their loop because part of their contract says they will do their job, they will close their loop by killing themselves,
Oh.
and then they'll have 30 years of like where they get a shit ton of money and they can just live their life. Once that 30-year mark gets, once you hit that,
Yeah.
this mob comes and grabs you, teleports you to the past, and then you kill yourself.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I need to see this.
That
Sounds wild.
I would say
Was it actually good?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Some of the like cinematography and some of the dialogue, and it was just kind of wonky. I think
Okay.
that's. Oh, the weirdest part is like the main character is Joseph Gordon-Levitt,
Okay, nice.
and his older self is Bruce Willis. But they did like
Oh, that's
prosthetics
confusing.
and makeup to make Joseph Gordon-Levitt look like Bruce Willis, and I guess it kind of did. But like the whole time you're thinking, well, at least I was thinking, this dude looks so fucking gross and weird. Because I know it's like the general shape of Joseph Gordon-Levitt's face, but then it's like not. So it was kind of distracting the whole time.
Interesting.
He doesn't look like a real person.
I feel like that's an interesting choice to make.
I know, like it would have been completely fine if you had just told me that Joseph Gordon-Levitt looking like himself is Bruce Willis.
Yeah, couldn't they just like
Like that's not a problem. No one's
give
gonna
him
be like,
some like
no.
makeup or something, make him look a bit older?
Yeah,
I don't know.
but
I don't make movies.
Yeah, but he just doesn't look right. He looks more like a young Robert De Niro. It would be what I would say.
Okay.
That's what he looked more like. But
Yeah.
still a really good movie. It's one of those like kind of mindfuck twist things.
Sure. I mean, the explanation itself was a little confusing. So.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. I got it. I got it though. I'm on it.
But basically, Joseph Gordon-Levitt doesn't want to die or doesn't want to kill himself.
Join the club.
But he does
buddy.
want to kill himself, but he also doesn't want to die.
What a dilemma. What a dilemma.
What? And Paul Dano's in it.
Paul Dano.
Yeah.
He's
And
the
Emily-
Riddler.
And Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt, wife of John Krasinski,
Yeah, that's
star
her,
of
that's her
of
credentials.
A Quiet Place.
She's a spouse. That's
She was
her
in.
credentials.
Was she in The Devil Wears Prada?
I don't know. I don't know. Why would I know that?
I'm not going to Paris or whatever. Yeah. She was in Devil Wears Prada.
I haven't seen that.
You've seen Looper, but you haven't seen Devil Wears Prada?
I feel like they're two distinct.
Meryl Streep is excellent in that movie.
Actually, that's with Anne Hathaway, right?
Yes.
Okay, I've seen it.
Edge of Tomorrow. I don't know that one.
Let's
Let's go through her whole IMDb page quick.
The IMDb. Do we want to get into this?
Searches.
Talk about your smegma.
This was something I searched right before we started, because this was a condition you were asking about earlier in the week, and I didn't know what you were talking about. So
All right.
you brought it up to me. You were like,
Neil was having an issue. We're like, what's wrong, Neil? And then he told us, and we're like, what? And so Elliott just searched it.
Okay, no, what actually happened was I sat down to record, and then you guys literally just asked me if I knew what smegma meant.
No. Okay, I'm not going to say the name of the road, but Emily and I were literally, we just came from looking at an apartment.
Yeah.
And the road is on, or the name of the road.
No, tell us what it is so we have context. Dox yourself.
The name of the road sounds like smegma.
Yeah. And I was like, what's smegma?
Yeah. That's
For some reason in my head, I thought it was like a Pokemon. But
honestly, it is pretty close to
it. Does sound like one. But no, the definition... The definition of smegma is a sebaceous secretion in the folds of the skin, especially under a man's foreskin.
Ew. What a gross description.
Yeah.
A lot of alliteration.
That's really all I need to do in terms of exploring this definition. I don't know if we need to go any further.
I wouldn't say. All we'll say is, support our friend Neil. We've got a hashtag running.
Yeah, we're gonna start a GoFundMe because he can't afford the surgery that he needs, his adult circumcision that he has to get.
It's so gross.
Okay, so the other thing that I searched this week, and we talked about Love is Blind. So I searched, is Love is Blind scripted?
Probably. Right?
Because a lot of reality shows are. Obviously, we all know this. This is common knowledge. But you might be surprised to find out. Love is Blind is not scripted.
Says who?
It's not scripted.
Loveisblind.com.
Okay. So, let me read this article. The show follows 30 people looking for love, going through 10 days of speed dating that ultimately ends in marriage proposals. However, over those 10 days, the people on the show never lay eyes on one another. Obviously. So whatever the blah, 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 it follows a number of couples through their proposals and all the way to their wedding day. According to many viewers, the wild nature of the show meant it also had to be scripted. Love is Blind is not scripted, and the show is real, at least to some extent.
To some extent, yeah.
Right.
Okay. The same way like The Bachelorette and The Bachelor are to some extent.
Everything surrounding the couples and their engagements was completely real, according to the show's producers and contestants. In fact... there were reportedly nerves on the set that the show would be too real.
What?
And that the reality of the show would be its downfall. Basically, they were afraid that because it's sort of an experiment, that nobody would actually get married. Like, it goes on to say that the producer or the creator of the show was like, I don't know if we're actually going to have people to follow at the end of this show.
So maybe too real is in just not exciting enough?
Right. As in, none of it's going to work out. But to their surprise... after the first season, they had I think 8 couples or something that had coupled up and were ready to get married. So, yeah, actually for the first season, they said they had only set up to do 5 weddings. But they had 8 couples. So 3 people didn't even make the final cut on that first season in terms of editing. So the show isn't scripted, although it did say...
3 couples didn't get it?
I think 3 of them, they just didn't follow, they just cut their tape.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they picked the
tough break
5
for them.
most exciting ones.
Yeah, probably.
Do they ever do reality shows for just strictly ugly people?
No.
That's fucked up.
Well, I feel like in Love is Blind, they're at least a little more normal looking. Like, if you watch something like Too Hot to Handle, everyone on that show is a damn smoke show. Like, the men, the women, they are all so good looking, so attractive. And that's the point. But Love is Blind isn't really about looks. Some of them actually look pretty normal. There's a few good-looking people, obviously. But I'd say the ratio to reality is pretty it's pretty spot on for Love is Blind. There's not they're not all super hot, but, they're all just kind of normal looking. A lot of them are.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
Could technically be considered a question today, but maybe not.
Oh, no.
Assuming you, were not in a relationship, imagine you and Megan never worked out.
What happened? What?
You never worked out. Megan is...
She left me?
No,
I always knew she would.
After the first date, she's 5'7" and taller. And then...
Damn it.
Yeah. Would you actively consider going on to a reality show?
Would I consider it? No.
Really?
No.
What?
I think the idea of it would be interesting. I think it would be fun to just experience that. Go on a show, see how it all works, become a part of that, it'd be kind of fun. And you could potentially, create a following after that, social media. This podcast would blow up for sure. But
a podcast featuring a guy who was voted off of The Bachelor. I don't know how many of these things
I wouldn't
work.
go on The Bachelor.
So would you only do Love is Blind?
No,
If you did
because that one's way too much of a commitment. I don't know, man. I don't think I would do it because it's just like you put yourself in a position where you're bound to do something stupid on camera, or like even me, I'm like super self-conscious just walking around every day. How can I go on camera for all these hours knowing that millions of people could potentially watch this?
You're on camera right now.
Yeah, but
Not
I'm
millions.
pretty much in control here. I mean, our producer, she's there, but she's not like telling me how to act or.
She's playing with a sticker book. She's about as absent a producer can be.
But that's what I was going to say about Love is Blind, though. So they said that it is like produced, like they actually like they'll obviously they put them in certain situations, or maybe they're like they ask them to elaborate on a certain thing they said or whatever. So then they are kind of, maneuvering, but they're not scripting anything. But no, I wouldn't go on Love is Blind. I wouldn't go on any of them. It's too much.
Neil would go on.
Will you fill out an application for me?
Yeah. Can you
That's
get
what
one?
we're going to do after this. We're going to get Neil on Too Hot to Handle.
What's the premise of that?
Oh, wow. We could talk all day. We could talk all day. Too Hot to Handle is even better, buddy. Too Hot to Handle is they get a bunch of people, men and women. They put them on this vacation island thing, whatever, for I can't remember how many days it is. And the whole thing is, so they're all super attractive, and basically the rules are in place that they're not allowed to hook up or make contact with each other. And there's a cash prize that they can get at the end, and every time they break the rules, then they lose a set amount of money.
That's such a stupid concept. You know what they should do?
What?
Take the love component out of it. Stick with an island. The most dangerous game reality TV show.
Whoa.
People hunt people.
Hunger Games.
That could be cool.
You want to see? No.
Like if everyone signs like
The time period you want to go back to is the gladiator period or something, I believe.
Everyone signs a waiver. Everyone's like, yeah, I'm okay with
Yeah,
like,
I'm
being
cool with like maybe dying.
hunted for sport.
How would that work?
It's like Battle Royale.
Yeah. You fly everybody in and then you just fucking go for it.
It's like Fortnite.
Yeah. Really, I guess what I want to see is a Fortnite
Just
TV
a live
show.
Fortnite. I mean, I could see it if it's not real deaths. Just a fun
No,
fighting
no.
like, boo, gotcha.
You take away the deaths,
Done.
you take away the spirit of my show. So, no.
I don't know if that would ever get made, but
So international waters aren't like you're not beholden to
I think you're right.
the laws of man.
Yep. You're right, man. You're totally right.
I know I would be hunted like quick.
Yeah,
know?
you'd have to be on the show then.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make this show, you have to ante up. You have to.
I would
you have
100%
to go
be the
on
first
it.
person to die.
Yeah.
And then,
I think you'd be.
I'm not really fast. I'm not really like strong.
You'd definitely be bottom 3. But I don't know if you'd be first out.
It's like that's not much better.
Yeah, I mean either way you're dead, but
You'd definitely be one of the worst, but I don't know if the worst.
you would be the worst. There'd be somebody you'd get, or like somebody would get got before you did.
I just don't think I would defend myself. I don't actually believe in violence like that.
I'd be a hider.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean you just gotta hide, and just hope they don't get you. Dig a hole, lay in it.
You could do that weird thing from the first Hunger Games movie where like the person who's a baker somehow like completely decorates himself to like blend in with like
he
a
can
rock.
decorate a cake, so obviously he can decorate himself to look like his surroundings.
What a horrible.
Yeah, I got to get that skill. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next episode, you'll come in just like
Yeah, I'll
rock-
just
rock
blend
face
into the
and
background.
tree trunk face or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, did you have any search history? Anything at all?
No.
You son of a bitch.
My phone is always right there.
I know.
But I
It's
did send you a
Ooh, you know what else I searched this week? One more thing.
Okay.
So I'm changing my split that I do at the gym. So your split is basically how you divide each muscle group when you're lifting. So for the longest time, I've been doing what's called a PPL, which is a push-pull legs day, right? So you do a push day, a pull day, and a leg day. So now I changed it, and I looked this up because I had to look up what it was called. So I'm changing it to a arms day, a back and chest day, and a legs day, and then doing those 2 times a week, working out 6 days a week.
Good Lord.
And that split is called An Arnold split.
And Arnold?
An Arnold split. It's what Arnold Schwarzenegger did to prepare for his competitions when he was bodybuilding.
Bodybuilders are so gross looking.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just like the bulging muscles. Like I just feel like someone's like about
They're
to
like-
burst at every.
They're like
any
too
second.
much, dude. It's like there's a line, and you can cross it where you're just like so big. It's just like why, But I'm not gonna get that big.
I also don't get like the bronzer. I don't like see the appeal.
Dude, the
to-
whole like show aspect of that is like crazy. Like competitions, like they get like because they're like a lot of them aren't even natural, right? A lot of them probably do steroids. A lot of them like it's not even about strength. You're just going for size.
Yeah.
So there's not even a functional aspect to it. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them are strong, but they're not like it's show muscles, dude. You're just getting huge to get huge so you can look good. And then the whole and then the whole like you said, like the bronzing or tanning themselves or whatever. Then they like dehydrate themselves so they look as big as possible, as shredded as possible for the show. It's like nobody walks around like that, but it's interesting. I've always wondered how they judge that too. Like who's like those muscles are really good compared to those muscles.
It has to be like purely subjective, right?
I would think.
Because at a certain
Right.
point, everyone kind of looks like themselves, like each.
Yeah, or like it's all about like symmetry too. Like you're supposed to be symmetrical. I don't know. I don't even know what goes into it, but it's so weird.
Also, imagine if you lose,
Dude,
like,
I'd be
then what's
pissed.
the point? You look fucking gross for nothing.
Well, I don't think they think they look gross.
Well,
I mean, I think they like how they look.
But they kind of do.
I mean, it's kind of sick. You have to admit.
It's not kind of
Like it's kind of cool.
It looks like your thighs are about to like pop. You know, like that's kind of just like a
I just
gross
like
look.
constantly just want to look like I'm gonna explode.
They're super dehydrated.
Yeah, they dehydrate themselves
Yeah,
like
that's
crazy.
Really healthy.
It's not healthy.
You know what I saw recently that has to be like should not be legal?
What?
I mean, I guess along the same lines of like boxing and whatnot. Like a lot of fighting sports kind of like go back and forth on because
Yeah.
like putting yourself into,
Right, but you also
Danger.
know you're putting yourself in that situation.
but there's like full on slap fights.
I've seen that. It's crazy.
I saw this one where it was like these two women and the first one like slaps the other person really good, but
Yeah.
she like stands her ground, and the next one gets slapped and it's clear like from the instant she gets hit, it's like brain damage because she like stumbles to the ground, gets up, falls again. Yeah, complete concussion. Like, why would you do?
Yeah.
What are you doing that for? There's no way. There's like a lot of money in that, right?
I don't know, man. I feel like it's because I've seen it like more now because I'm pretty sure it's like taking off in like Vegas, like where people can actually like bet on it. So I think there is like money in it now, or at least more than there used to be, because it's like a real thing now. Like it's crazy. Like have you seen like I saw one where this dude just started like bleeding from his ear or some shit, and he was like trying to get back up, and it's like, dude, stop, just stop, you
I
lost.
mean, we did it in high school for free.
That's true. I forgot we did that. Jesus.
I remember we had a show choir competition one day, and we were doing a slap fight. It was like an hour before we performed,
Yeah.
and our buddy Sam slapped me so good that like he hit my nose, and I was just like bleeding,
Dude, you were like
profusely bleeding.
I just remember because like we would do this and we were just so when you go to a show choir competition was where we would do this, which is super irresponsible. Whatever, they like set you up in a classroom and then you're all like chilling in there for whatever. That's where you hang
You're
out.
like kind of like alone for like 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah, so then we would just like pass the time by slapping each other in the face. So we would have these slap fights, and I remember like you got fucking knocked so hard in the nose, you started bleeding profusely, like it just started like spouting out of your nostrils. It was disgusting. And then all the parents and all the moms who were like around to like help out or whatever, I remember them being like, "What happened? What's wrong? What's going on?" We're like, "It's fine. It's just a slap fight."
we played.
It was just
no
a
harm,
slap
no
fight.
foul. My shirt's drenched in blood, just out of good fun. Horrible idea.
Yeah, you got whacked, man. I remember. Should we do that right now? Loser leaves the podcast. I'm just kidding.
I feel like
What?
you probably have much stronger hands than me.
I don't know, man.
Look how dainty my hands on.
Yeah, you do have your hands look soft.
They are very soft.
You worked a day in your life, my God.
In some circles, it's considered to be attractive to have soft hands.
Okay, yeah.
In others, I mean, I guess you're like do you think you're like blue collar or something?
No.
That's right, bitch.
Okay, yeah, that was my search history. Do you want to move on to question of the day?
I think we should do bizarre news first,
Sure.
so that way I can spend more time thinking about what I want to ask you.
You don't even. Are you fucking serious?
I've had so much going on this week. You know how hard it is
Such
to
a
think
busy
of
week for you.
It was.
Such a busy
Don't
week.
patronize me. I want to talk about my article first because I think it's the coolest thing I've ever heard of.
Oh, you brought one. That's right.
Yeah. See? I can provide in other ways.
Here you go. Let's talk about it.
So you're familiar with Twitch, right?
Yes.
Twitch, the online gaming streaming platform.
Oh, no.
Well,
I thought you just meant like the thing that I have
the body-
sometimes, like
the
when I
body-
get really nervous.
the body movement. Okay. So like Twitch, people are getting like increasingly more gimmicky. You know, the more gimmicky your act is, the more people you're going to get to watch.
Sure.
But basically, there's this dude who I think he has a YouTube channel and also a Twitch channel. But basically, he has an aquarium, and the way I understand it is his aquarium has like a projection on it
Okay.
of like lines, and each like segment of this projection corresponds to a button on a Nintendo Switch controller.
Ooh.
And basically, he'll have like one fish that just swims, and the whole thing is this fish plays Pokemon or whatever. And so it just like it swims and goes onto each thing. I think he'll help guide the fish,
Yeah.
but it's just completely controlled by it.
That's wild. That's an awesome idea for a
Right?
Twitch stream.
Isn't that a super good idea? But here's where it got fun. So I think he left the stream for a while.
Yeah.
But the stream kept going, the game kept going, and so I think normally it's like one fish, but I think they had multiple fish started being able to control it.
Okay.
But basically, what happened is the fish exited the game, then it went into the store, like the Nintendo Switch store, started buying things. At one point, it like displayed his credit card information, just because they were like randomly choosing things. 'Cause
That's
they're just
crazy.
Around. Yeah. So like technically, credit card VOD completed by fish.
Maybe the fish are just smarter than we think.
Maybe.
Maybe they're like, all right,
But like, look at
we're
that.
gonna expose this guy.
Look at that. It's like a little
Whoa.
shows you how it's
That
done,
is wild.
right?
Yeah, if you're wondering what his credit card number is, it is just kidding. That's crazy.
Right?
That the fish are just able to just do that.
I know.
It just seems a little too on the nose for these fish to want to expose this guy. I feel like they knew what they were doing.
On what?
I
nose?
feel like they knew what they were doing, these fish.
What a
We're going to
weird-
get this guy.
What a weird conspiracy.
There's weirder ones out there.
But I feel like we need to do something like this. So if next week
Okay.
you just hear like two bubbling sounds, it's because we've been replaced by fish.
we decided the fish are better to control this podcast than we are.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about news, shall we?
Yeah.
From CNN. 5 Russian men fleeing military conscription have been living at a South Korean airport for months.
Like that Tom Hanks movie, but not.
Which one? Catch Me If You Can?
No. There's like a Tom Hanks movie
Big?
where. No.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, I think that was the one.
Oh, okay.
No,
Sick.
he plays like a displaced. I think they made like a fictitious near Russia country that like was
Elvis?
experiencing a civil war. So he lives in an airport for a year.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
Yeah, it was
could
all
be
right.
Castaway. Russian men who fled the country after Moscow's military mobilization order last September have been stranded at South Korea's international airport for months after authorities refused to accept them.
Good.
3 of the men had arrived in October, with the remaining 2 in November, said their lawyer, Lee Jong-chan. What's his name? Lee said that their applications for refugee status were denied by the South Korean Justice Ministry, leaving them stranded at the departure area for months while awaiting a ruling on their appeal. They are provided with 1 meal a day, which is lunch,
What?
but for the rest of the day, they live off bread and drinks.
Oh.
The men are able to shower, but have to wash their clothes by hand and are unable to leave departure and duty-free areas, added the lawyer. They have limited access to medical care and no support for their mental health, which is important considering their precarious situation.
It's just sad.
I think it's wild that they're allowing them to just live in the airport. Why aren't they like posted up somewhere or like, you know what I mean? Like they have to stay in the airport because
This is
they
exactly
can't leave.
what happened with the Tom Hanks movie.
Really?
He didn't have the credentials to be able to enter the United States of America,
Yeah.
but his country was also like war torn and then eventually dissolved, so he didn't have anywhere else to go.
Whoa.
He was
I just feel like you could put him
some.
somewhere. I mean, like, what if you're in that airport just trying to fly and then, you just see these 5 Russian guys just hanging out, washing their clothes in the sink in the bathroom, and you're like, who are these guys?
I wouldn't be,
I'm trying to fly to Prague.
I wouldn't be worried.
Why wouldn't we be worried either? But I'd be like, do these guys live here, and why?
Then you ask them, and they speak Russian,
yes.
and you don't understand them. And
We
then-
live here, we drink vodka and bread.
Incredibly offensive.
That's what they sound like.
I'm part Russian.
Okay. I don't
East-
know what to tell you.
West Russia,
Vodka.
not East Russia. Stop.
Yeah, but that's wild, man. I can't believe they're living in that airport. How long do you think you could live in an airport?
Depends on the airport and depends what areas I have access to.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you only have access to one restaurant at the food court, and you have to go to the bathroom in like those like dog pads that they have in the back. Like, you know how they have those areas for dogs where you could go. It's like a grass patch. That's what you have to do.
No different than my normal setup.
How long can you last?
5 years? I don't know.
It's not that different than how I live now.
What a weird thing to ballpark. I have no idea.
90 days. 40 days.
I could probably live as long as I need to.
20 days.
I would probably live there until someone told me to not live there,
Over under 4 weeks.
Yeah, I could do that.
You could do more than 4 weeks?
What's the
Taking a
alternative?
shit on a puppy pad?
What's the alternative?
I don't know.
Okay, so
I was just asking how long you could last.
5 weeks, 6
Okay.
weeks. I can do it. I'll do it right now.
Okay.
I'm going to the airport tomorrow. I'll prove it. I'll shit on the floor. I'll only eat at, I think they have a ramen place.
The thing is, I don't think. Yeah, what place would you pick? What would your restaurant be?
There's
What do they got? They got Burger King.
I don't know. I know one of the terminals has a ramen place. I would do that.
Nice,
I love ramen.
nice. Subway.
No, I just said ramen.
Just Starbucks.
I think I'm still gonna stick with ramen.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's pretty wild. What was I gonna say? I don't think that you can live in an airport though. Like obviously these guys have a special circumstance, right? I don't think you're allowed to spend multiple days in the airport without like obviously it was different when those people's like flights kept getting canceled. But I think if you just go to the airport, I don't think you're allowed to just like hang out there for a week.
Probably.
Eventually security kicks in.
Yeah, they'd find you, they'd get you, they'd kick you out. You know?
Yeah.
You wouldn't last.
So then why ask me the hypothetical?
I don't know, man. Just to, All right. Next article.
Just accept my answer next time. I can do it for 5 years.
No. Fuck.
If Tom Hanks can do it for over a year, so can I.
You're right.
He even got a job.
Tom Hanks can do it.
People were nice to him.
Anybody can do it.
He tried to learn the language.
Wow. All right. Next article. Delta flight attendant's heartwarming act of kindness goes viral. See the touching photo. Here's the photo.
It
The
looks
photo
like he's
is
sitting on the ground with
of
a cup
man.
of coffee.
Yep, he's sitting on the ground next to a lady on the floor. One Delta Airlines passenger, Molly Simonson Lee, had a fear of flying and was on a flight from Charlotte to New York when she noticed a fellow passenger in front of her was also struggling with the same phobia. The woman began to cry, and that's when Lee witnessed a heartwarming act of kindness from a flight attendant named Floyd Dean Shannon. I don't know why it's naming these people. Like, we need to know their full names.
You're the one saying the full
It's in the article. It's in the article. He sat on the floor next to her and reassured her that he would be there for her every step of the way. He explained every noise and movement on the flight, which helped to calm her nerves.
Oh, that rattling? Yeah, the engine's about to fall off.
Oh, that noise? That's... Fuck. Shit. That's, yeah, we lost a wing. No.
Just drive. Just drive, man. Especially Charlotte to New York.
That's true. That's not that far. You could drive. You could feasibly drive it. Anyways, I just thought it was a nice act of kindness. I feel like a lot of these articles are normally so negative, I need a little bit of positivity in my life, a little more, hope that the world isn't just a dark and dirty place. So, God bless you. What was his name? Dean? Floyd Dean Shannon. God bless you. People actually started a GoFundMe for this guy, just because he was so kind and guided this woman all the way through her flight. I believe they've raised $2,250 or something. So
What are they
nice
funding?
chunk of change for being a kind person.
What are they funding?
They're funding him getting paid more.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. How much do flight attendants make? You could probably use a bonus.
Pretty sure you make a decent amount as a flight attendant. Plus,
Really?
you get flight discounts. You can usually fly standby to like anywhere you want.
Okay, so you are making the stance right now that you are against giving this man money. You do not
No, I
agree
just
with
know
what he was doing.
I would have ripped the lady off the plane. That's what I would have done.
No, that was a great act of kindness by that man. You know, God bless him. We should all try to be a little bit like
Wait, so
Floyd
were
Dean Shannon.
there were two people that were having...
So there was one lady, I believe she may have written the article or something, I don't know, or maybe whatever. There was two people. One lady recognized this woman on the plane, and they both had a fear of flying, but one seemed to be more significant than the other because Floyd Dean Shannon
lady one
decided to sit next to her.
Didn't get any comfort whatsoever.
I don't know. It didn't specify. I'm not even sure if Lady One existed, to be honest with you.
Oh, that is a heartwarming story.
It is. It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice? You know, if you start, freaking out on your flight to Germany, you're going to be hoping that a Floyd Dean Shannon is there to hold your hand through the whole thing.
Sit next to me for 7.5 hours.
It's going to be okay, buddy. It's going to be okay.
I wouldn't like that.
You can take a nap on my shoulder.
Dude, I'm in like the steerage.
The what?
I'm in the economy of the economy.
What?
I'm flying bitch on
They
this
put
thing.
you under the plane.
That's what steerage means.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. What do I design planes? I know every word for plane storage.
How long? So, all right, pretend this is a question of the day.
Okay, question of the
Great question of
day.
the day. We're going to get like 10, 15 minutes out of this. So, how long do you think you could hold on to the wings of a plane? Are you
fucking serious?
How long do you think?
That's your question? How long do I think I could hold on to the wing
Yeah.
of a jet plane,
Like you got
a commercial plane flying into the air?
You got a pretty good grip on your hands.
Yeah, I've
there.
got pretty good grip, maybe. Yeah.
Tom Cruise did it.
Tom Cruise, yeah.
Tom-
He had like stuff.
Okay, realistically, not long. I think they'd start the engines up and I'd go flying. Once they start moving, right? I could hold on. Once they start moving, I mean, how fast do planes go? Planes go fast as hell. They go pretty fast.
Pretty fast.
I mean, I don't think I would hold on very long. As soon as they start going down the runway, I'm going.
That's not the answer
That's
I was looking
me.
for. Did you hear about that person?
What, you think I could make it to takeoff?
Yeah.
Once it's taking off, you think I'd still be on the wing of the plane?
Yeah. You're like your lips would be like flapping. And
Yeah, it'd be like like my hair's going wild.
But you got it.
My whole face is kind of like.
And at a certain point, you gotta like. Do you always have to hang on? Like, say you're mid-flight, all right?
Yeah.
You're going the same speed as the plane.
Right?
Do you have to hang on?
Yes.
Do you?
What do you mean you have to hang on?
Do you?
Yes, I believe you have to hang on. Yeah.
Someone fact check.
You have to counteract the drag.
All right.
Yeah, there's no way.
Pretending to.
But you thought I was going to be like, yeah, I could make the whole flight. I could do the whole thing.
You can just stand.
I think I could do it. It can't be that hard.
I don't know. You're usually pretty confident.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident, but I also am pretty realistic. I understand that I'm not able to hang on to a jet engine airplane flying through the air.
I like how you describe planes. Like you're an 85-year-old man who just discovered how flight works. A jet engine
airplane.
Keeping with the theme of planes, did you see that story like 2 weeks ago about this? I think it was a lady. She was like an airline employee on the ground. She got sucked into one of the engines.
Oh, I don't know if I saw that.
Yeah.
She got sucked into the engine?
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Did she make it?
No. No.
I'm just kidding.
But apparently, so more news came out about that, more
Yeah.
information. Apparently that person was warned that day about standing 15 feet away from the plane. And apparently also that same day, she stood behind the engine and got blown over.
Oh, my God.
And still didn't learn, like, hey, maybe I shouldn't
Yeah.
stand so close to this.
Yeah. It was actually her first day. They brought her in and they were like, oh, I forgot to show her that training video about getting near the engine. Hopefully nothing goes wrong today. And then,
Real question of the day. What's the worst way to die?
what's the worst way to die? So there's a few.
That's got to be up there. Assuming you'd probably be unconscious pretty quick. Like, it'd be pretty fast
Yeah.
to be sucked into, like...
Yeah, no, I feel like that wouldn't even be that bad because I feel like it'd be pretty instantaneous. You'd like have a half second of what's going on, wow, and then you'd be gone. Yeah, and then you just evaporate basically.
Were you there? That was like perfect.
That's exactly what happened.
You sound like fucking Mario.
No,
Respect to that person's family. We're
yeah,
really sorry.
absolutely. You know,
They left kids behind.
thoughts and prayers, family, friends, loved ones.
But don't.
But just don't stand in front of a jet engine. Just don't do it.
Or behind it.
Or behind. Don't go near them if they're on. Just don't. But no, that wouldn't be the worst way to die. I mean, the worst way to die, I feel like a lot of people would say burning alive. That's definitely one that I think would be the worst.
Or drowning.
Drowning, I've heard, isn't that bad.
Who?
From a lot of...
Who said it wasn't that bad?
Yeah, actually, my cousin, he drowned, and then he came back to life. They brought him back. He said it wasn't that bad.
No.
No, I've actually heard it's pretty peaceful. Like once you like stop breathing and then you pass out.
So once you're dead, yeah, it's pretty
After
peaceful.
your lungs stop burning and then you eventually fade into nothingness for eternity, then
I think it would be
then,
most like the sheer panic
yeah,
and struggle that would be the worst part. And then your lungs fill up and
yeah.
and then you
I
die.
feel like it's a big mental one. Like you're just sitting there with your own thoughts, knowing that it's over.
also pretty physical. The way you're.
Nah, not as much physical. Burning alive would suck. I would also feel like, I guess drowning would suck because of the waiting, right?
Being kicked to death.
Being stabbed to death over and over by some dull plastic forks.
How do you think you'll die?
How do I think I'll die? Probably heart disease.
Oh,
No, I don't
that's
know.
a good spot to end it.
I feel like what will get me, what will cause the old Reaper to come my way is, probably cancer, probably one of the big diseases, heart disease, stroke, cancer.
Yeah.
One of those.
I mean,
What about you? Car accident?
probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know.
I don't like. So I've done like the medical history report,
Mm-hmm.
like genetic testing and whatever. There's like no real huge red flags. I mean, hypertension, like high blood pressure, is like one, but
Yeah. A lot of people have that.
Most people have that. So I don't really think there's anything that really resonates in the family.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Mine's just like cancer and stuff, dude.
I
know that'll get me.
I feel like I'll probably get cancer.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
terrified of like Chadwick Boseman had colon cancer, right?
Mm-hmm.
That one scares me because I'm not gonna let anyone near my butt.
Yeah, that's really... You would rather just get colon cancer instead of, having a camera up your butt?
Maybe, yeah. Should we get prostate exams on
Ooh, we should
On the
we should do a
podcast?
live colonoscopy.
that one?
Let's
I don't
do
think
it.
you can. I mean, we'd both be zonked.
Oh,
They put you under for that.
You could find the male G spot.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, we could.
Yeah, let's just
That would be a prostate exam though, not a colonoscopy.
okay, fine. Let's do a prostate
Because
exam.
prostate exam, you're awake. I'm pretty sure for colonoscopy, they put you under, don't they?
Yeah, I guess they must.
Yeah,
What? Yeah, they must.
they have to. There's no way.
Absolutely.
There's no way you're like.
So you want to do a live prostate exam on the podcast?
It's probably too early.
Do we
for
have a
us to do
doctor
one.
friend?
I'll get one.
Let's get one. If you're listening to this, you're a doctor out there, you do prostate exams, you stick your fingers up people's butts regularly, just let us know. Also, please be all those things at the same time, not just a doctor, or it's not a
Or a
it's not
person
an
who-
or situation. This is an and situation.
I want to know like how exact is the science? You stick your fingers up someone's ass. Obviously, you're a doctor, you have training, but you're like, yeah, that feels like a normal anal cavity. Like,
How do they even teach that?
Yeah.
Like how do you're just like
Why'd you lick your fingers?
what? They don't do that. They don't. And then they're just like, yep, that feels right. Yep, that's a healthy colon.
Like, I guess you have to do it enough to be like, all right, this is wrong.
Yeah. Once you feel enough healthy colons, then you really just understand what an unhealthy colon feels.
Prostate.
It's all the same.
Colon is like rum tum tummy.
Rummity tum tums.
Prostate is
Prostate's just a quick finger in the butt.
yeah. This guy knows.
He knows. He knows.
Quick.
He knows. Yeah, maybe we should do that. That'd be great if we could get somebody on here to stick their fingers up our butts.
I kind of feel like, I mean, I joked about not wanting people to touch my butt, but I feel like I'll do that testing way earlier than I have to, just because I'm so freaked out about it.
Yeah, dude, I have to. Like colon cancer runs in my family, so I have to. I have to do it early. So probably gonna do it like 27, age 27.
So, next year.
Yes, in the fall.
Took me a second. To
No, probably like 40, 45.
I
Something
wonder
like
if
that.
even like your insurance will cover that at that age.
I have no idea.
Probably not.
I doubt it.
45 for colon,
So probably 40 for me.
unless you're high risk.
Chadwick Boseman wasn't 45.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why it got
He
him.
was in his 30s.
If it's
Yeah.
In the family, if it's in the family, you check early.
Yep.
Damn.
It's tough. You know, life's a bitch.
On that note, do you have any closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts for today, make sure you're getting health checks regularly. Go to the doctor. It's okay. They are allowed to stick their fingers up your butt. They are medical professionals. They know all about the male G-spot. Also, just don't stand in front of jet engines. Don't do it. It's not safe. It's not good.
Or behind them.
Or behind them. There's just no good thing to do there. So be out there, be safe, be fun, and wake up, people!